It's a simple thing, folks. Always be reading. Reading is a system. I'm Bram Adams. Let's talk about it. Long indefinite end breaks are bad. What do I mean by indefinite end breaks? These are breaks that you take from reading. Maybe you get stuck on a book and then you just take 5 months off. 5 months becomes 8 months. 8 months becomes 2 years. You're like, when's the last time that I read a book? That's bad. The reason that it's bad is that not reading has an opportunity cost. An opportunity cost is the cost of something that you could have been doing, but you did something else instead. In fact, everything has an opportunity cost. It's just that some things have higher opportunity costs than others, especially when they align with deeper sources of meaning in a person's life, and more specifically, if it takes time to do. Reading takes time to do. It's not a immediate thing to be able to read something and to understand it. It takes time to do. So when you forego reading for other things for an extended, protracted period of time, you're adding extra opportunity cost to the overall function of your reading life. Here's another thing. You'll never get through an entire library. I think that this is, the size of a library. If your library is 5 books, then you probably will get through it if you try hard enough. But if your library is the New York Public Library, then you will never see all the books that are there. So when you're taking these long indefinite breaks, you are seeing fractions of a fraction that you could have seen of the library. And I think that this is up to an individual, and of course with a want out of life. But there's so much beauty in books to be discovered. And much like movies, much like any other work of art, books are written by weirdos, and these weirdos have put a lot of thought and patience into these ideas. So when you don't give yourself the opportunity to be reading, then you lose out on maybe something that was beautiful, a beautiful turn of phrase, a way that you didn't know that your language could be used. This is a big one. Don't get stuck on a book that you'll never come back to. This is a very common thing that happens. People will be reading one book. Check out my book of video and parallel reading if you want to read more than one book. And they'll get stuck on that book because they won't like it, or they're going to need some time to think about it, and then they never come back to it. This is less of a problem when you have external motivation, or if you have some kind of external deadline, if you have a boss, or if you have a college professor or a high school teacher who's breathing down your throat and telling you that you need to continue to read the book. Then you'll push through that disdain, that boredom perhaps, but you don't have to finish books as an adult. A big part of this channel, a big part of Reading as a System, is accepting the autodidactic systems into our life which come from choice. They come from making a decision to stop reading books that aren't good for you and to continue reading books that are good for you. So just drop it. Drop it. Always be reading. Have a little bit of reading in your daily life whenever possible. I think that this is just something that's a good rule of thumb. If you're not heading towards completion of any particular book, or you're not maybe in a time of your life where you found a book that really kind of resonates with you or speaks to you, that doesn't mean that you should just stop picking up books. You don't have to finish books. You can go into a bookstore, you can go into a library, and you can just read a few pages of a book every single day. Just browse, explore. There's a bunch of books that are for free on the internet that have been published through the public domain, because there's a lot of books that are over 100 years old, and you can just read a few pages of those. You don't have to complete every book that you start. And in fact, if you want to always be reading, it's better to not have that mindset. It's better to come at it from the perspective of like, I will always just be reading a little bit every single day. So that's what I just said. Even if it's a book you don't care to finish. The practice is more important than the destination. How do I turn off the pen? Erase all. Shift A. The practice is more important than the destination. I think that this is, again, the cornerstone of this channel is systematizing our reading habits. And there is no destination with reading. I think that there's a lot of checkpoints. The end of a book feels like a checkpoint. It feels like there's something that's been done. But it is just a practice at the end of the day. It's picking up the next book and starting to read that one too. So that's it for me. Check out the website in the description to see all of the other strategies from Reading as a System. Have a good one.